This video is brought to you by A Better Route Planner, the route planner for EVs. Hundreds of cars are supported. Choose your configuration, plan your route with the charging network that you want to prefer or charging networks that you want to avoid. If you're a premium member, you can use real-time weather forecast and traffic information, and you can also use A Better Route Planner in your car with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Use the link in the description to support the channel and use A Better Route Planner Premium for 30 days for free.
Hello everyone and welcome to the long distance trip test with the Audi RS e-tron GT Performance, a sports car with up to 925 horsepower. I'm gonna do a 600 kilometer trip, see how the car is doing when it comes to planning the route, charging, how is it to drive 5 to 6 hours, and all of this stuff. Because it's important. People don't just buy this car because it's sporty. You want to go on a bit of a trip as well. Assist systems and stuff like this. I navigated already to my first charger. I planned my route with A Better Route Planner, and I'm gonna go to Tronity Altdorf as every time for whatever reason. It tells me I will arrive right now with 34%, but I think the car thinks I drive 130, but I drive 150 cruising speed, since this car is not amazingly efficient, but it charges incredible. From under 10% to 61%, we get above 300 kilowatt. And Ionity we will charge at EMBW as well, where it's a 300 kilowatt charger. We'll see how much we get there. Maybe exactly 300. We'll see. Because the peak is 320 kilowatt on this car. And I can't wait. This is my last drive with this car. Today is Sunday. On Tuesday this car will be picked up. I will film another video tomorrow, but I won't drive very far. And it's raining today and it's gonna rain the next few days. So I had my last power use of this car yesterday. Here you can see the beautiful head-up display, and it only tells you that in 139 kilometers I have to go to the right. It doesn't say how long and how many kilometers. This is here. Here in the cockpit I have on the right my navigation, and I can put my map here too, and I can put it in full screen if I want to. But I have my short-term memory here, which I reset the second I went on the highway, or just a minute before. And here's my navigation. I can see that I arrive with 33% now, and here I would see that there's a little construction zone, but it doesn't say that there's traffic jam. There was traffic jam before. And on the right bottom I can see my elevation. I love that about Audi navigation. It's really cool. State of charge is a problem in this car. It doesn't say it here in the cockpit. For this I have to go into vehicle and charging, and then I see an exact number. In the main screen I only see bars. I can guess. And since we're navigating to a charger, at some point it will preheat the battery, and I will see that here where it says battery and charging. Right now I can only charge with 25 kilowatt or so, but it will preheat and the state of charge of course goes down, and then it will give a message here, hey, I'm preheating, and that's awesome. When I went on a highway and I reset my trip, my state of charge was at 86%. My climate is on 22 degrees, seat heater on 1. A seat heater, I had it on 3 in the beginning, not very warm, and seat ventilation is not very cold, not very strong. That's a bit sad. AC is off. I think the heat is doing a tiny bit. It's 12 degrees out there, but I think it's okay. And I am in comfort mode, not efficient. I want it comfortable today. I arrived at the first charger with 26%. Charger didn't work twice. It says arrow charging. I had to unplug, plug back in. It was extremely annoying. I'm gonna charge only for a few minutes. I only need 115 kilometers to the next charger, and you can see how fast this is going up. Oh my God. So I charged to 150 kilometers. It will take like 3 minutes or so. Yeah, stupid charger. Drive to get here was amazing. It stopped raining. That's awesome for me to film, but it was all wet and it was raining almost, I don't know, the last 10 minutes it stopped. So of course that's higher consumption. I'm parked here like an idiot because there's no one here and there's no charging station here. So, and the charge plug is on for DC is on this side. That's why I did it like this. What do we get? 262 kilowatt, 2 minutes, 10 kilowatt hours charged. Yeah, we're really gonna go soon. I only charged to 40%. I'm already on my way. Charged to 158 kilometers of range or so. Here you can see my driving data. 333 watt hours per kilometer, but I drove 150 and then at the end a tiny bit faster because it was fun. It was just fun. I like that. So I used 60% for 184 kilometers of fast driving. I think that's okay with a super sports car. Something weird just happened. I put in the navigation the next destination. It's now in 92 kilometers, and exactly at that same time my range dropped by 40 kilometers. It went from 148 to 102 or 104. And now I only have 6 kilometers of margin. I reduced my speed. I had 4 in the beginning, so I think it's going down. The car thinks I arrive with 2% now. Ooh, it was 1% before. So we're on a good track. I have to drive a bit slower now. That's weird. I'm driving 140 now. Now I have 13 kilometers of safety, and the car thinks, it was just 3%. That is 3%. I arrived, so that's cool. I have 2 construction zones, it tells me, and I think that's okay. 3% we can do. Driving 140, that's an okay speed to travel anyways. This car could go faster, so if I would have charged 3-4 minutes more, I could go 150, maybe even faster. So, and on 100 kilometers, driving 150 is a bit faster than those 4 minutes that I would have charged more. So the charging would have been better, but I thought the range tells me what it is. It will calculate according to my driving, but it did it in a big step. Yeah. Change of plans. I didn't navigate to EMBW charger. I'm here at Ionity Himmelkron. It's a bit shorter, but I arrived with 15%, so that's fine. And I'm going to charge a tiny bit more for those 20 kilometers more that I need. What do we charge with? 298 kilowatt. That's fine. I will calculate how much I need in a second. First, we look at everything. My driving data, the consumption got better because I was driving so slow, and it was fine. So it was totally fine to drive slow because there was a lot of speed limits, 120, 130, even construction zone with 80. So if I would even be able to drive 150, I could have driven maybe 20 kilometers of this 80 that I just drove. So it was even fine. I charged to around 69%. I stopped charging the second the power went from 270 down to 200 kilowatt. So this was a perfect charging stop. Plugged in at 15%. I charged, I don't know, 7 minutes. It felt like nothing. I filmed a bit. You saw me even stressed out. Took a few pictures, posted on Instagram, and okay, we have to go. I have 230 kilometers of range, and I think I have to drive 160, if I'm not correct. 159 exactly. I did plan my trip to the next charger, Ionity-Wernberg, and because there would be a shorter way I'm trying to drive around, I had to put another destination in there in between, and it works really nice. I have 103 kilometers to go to the next charger and last charger. I have 160 kilometers of range, so I'm driving 160. We'll see what happens. I'm risky. I'm on the edge of life. Or I'm living on the edge, so this is how it goes. Yeah, and it's just so much fun to drive a bit faster in this car. It's now warm, even though it says 9 degrees. The sun is out and it feels warm. I have the AC on and the seat ventilation and everything. Consumption is still around the same, didn't change too much. It's a great drive right now. I arrived here with 9%, again charging with 300 kilowatt. I have 163 kilometers to go and I want to arrive with 10%. So I have to charge 48% at least. It was a great drive. I drove a bit with power because I had a bit more state of charge. And I think you can do that with the car because charging 60 to 70% takes nothing, and those 10% you can just drive fast and have fun. It was great. Like I said, charged to around 70% when the power gets lower than 270, 260 kilowatt, and then we go. I charged to 70%, like I said, exactly, and then I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I drove too fast for the last 30, 40 kilometers here. But I'm back to 160, maybe even 150, we'll see. It still says I arrive with 10%, and even if I arrive with 6-7%, I'm okay. So it's just so hard not to show and feel the power. It's just amazing. You press boost at 130 and whoop, 220. It's amazing. How is the Audi RS e-tron GT performance on a long distance trip? How is it to drive? And the driving is amazing, even though this is extreme sports car. Hello, 925 horsepower and all sporty. It's fine to drive. It's comfortable. I'm in comfort mode. The seats are comfortable, seat ventilation on, the AC, cruise control works really well, the distance is nice, self-steering is on, steering assist. It's really nice, and it charges incredible. This time, now the last charging session, it went under the 270 kilowatt already at 61%, the same as my charging test at home. So it depends when you plug in how long the 300 kilowatt are on. But still, it charges amazing, it drives amazing. Consumption, I find it totally okay, 329 for how I'm driving. I was never driving slower than 150, unless there's a speed limit, of course. And so many times I accelerated fully. I think on the whole day, I don't know, 30 times. And I drove above 240 kilometers, 50 kilometers or so. So I think it's really okay. I love this car to drive. It's a lot of fun. 80. What the hell? That's stupid. Yeah, but it's nice on the long distance trip. It drives great. It does everything as it should. Starting to rain. I enjoy it immensely, and it does it very, very well. I arrived at 12:38. That's exactly 5 hours for those almost 600 kilometers. Arrived with 8%. Car thinks I drove 600. I think it's 569. We see at home. Consumption 326 watt-hours per kilometer. And of this time, there will be deducted a toilet break, stop at a light, and the charger didn't work the first time. Let's analyze this drive. Average consumption 326 watt-hours per kilometer. Car says 600 kilometers, 0.6. Google Maps says 594 kilometers. I drove 5 hours and 2 minutes, but I deducted 7 minutes. I was 4 minutes on the toilet. I was 1 minute on this light that didn't switch, was just red for a very long time, unusually, and one time the charger didn't work where I had to unplug and wait. I'm taking 2 minutes, maybe it was even more, but it's okay. And so I drove 295 minutes for 594 kilometers. That's an average speed of 120.81 kilometers an hour, including charging. That's the fastest I have ever been. And as you have seen, if I would have charged a few minutes more, let's say 3 minutes more on the first charge, I could have driven 150 then on the next leg. As I said, there was a lot of speed limits anyway, but maybe, I don't know if it would have been the same or if it would have been a minute faster or something, but still amazing. And now let's look at the charging sessions. First charging session, they only charged for 6 minutes, 16 kilowatt hours, 26 to 40%. That's only 160 kilowatt average speed. Even though I preheated the battery, but 26%, maybe it didn't get that power. Next charging session, 15 to 70%. I repeat, 15 to 70%. 12 minutes for 59 kilowatt hours. That's an average power of 295. Average! Not peak, average. That's amazing. And last session, 9 to 70%. 14 minutes for 65 kilowatt hours. Average power of 279. That's still incredible. And here you can see, here it was charging with 300 kilowatt right from the beginning, and then at 61% it goes down to 200. That's why we have lower. When you plug in at 15%, it goes to 270 kilowatt, and then I stopped. Here it went down to 200 kilowatt because it was longer on 300 kilowatt. But still, this is amazing. This was the fastest car again I have ever driven on this drive. 120 kilometers an hour average speed, and it was raining in the beginning and in the end. Without that, it would be lower consumption, maybe 2-3 minutes faster because of charging, and then 125 kilometers an hour average speed or something. Incredible. And the reason is just the charging. Above 300 kilowatt charging from 10 to 60% is just everything you need. Incredible, even if the consumption is really, really high. Amazing. If you want to follow me on Instagram, BatteryLife1, and if you want to support the channel, there's a Patreon link in the description below. And here on YouTube, there's also channel membership. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I have a third YouTube channel, Behind the Battery. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.